Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live. Today is Thursday, December 11th. All right, let's see. Markets had some movement finally. We definitely had we had a big drop yesterday. Kind of a recovery, and then this morning, pretty much right at the open, took a nice little drop here again. Taking a look at a setup on the ES at the 68.8650. Targeting the 68.84 and the 68.81 and a quarter. The stop up here at the 68.91.75. So that's on the ES. We finally got some movement on the ES. NQ. So NQ, we took a winner last night. Provided my signal service members a nice signal that happened pretty much right after the open, the 5 o'clock open, and took a nice win on that. That's why you see the P&L so high. I took that on my cash, 2 cash accounts, 5 funded ticks, and on all my Apex PAs. So that's where you see that number from. And I'm going to turn off the PAs for right now, so the number will go down. Okay, so now we're rolling just with the 2 cash accounts and the 5 funded ticks accounts. There is an area down here on the NQ that I am looking at. We did take a loser on. I ended up not taking that trade. It was off the charts, and to be honest with you, I was a little worried with my consistency rules on the funded accounts. I took those all with 2 E-minis. And we had a falling knife onto that signal on the NQ. And I'll kind of show you guys. I'll bring up a screenshot of that trade, or that setup, I should say. Let me just get these marked off here. All right, so we're looking at the 25,492 as an entry. TP1 at the 25,502, TP2 at the 25,508 with a stop loss at the 25,484. See if I can open that up a little bit here. And we'll drop down to the 1 minute. Again, entry at the 25,492, TP1 at the 25,502, TP2 at the 25,508, with a stop loss at the 25,484. Let's jump to stay on the ES here for a little bit. That's not what I wanted to do. right, we're all set up there. Juno, not sure what you mean by you posted in the sling. I'm not sure what that means. Gregory, good morning. Juno, good morning. Kate, good morning. Starscream, good morning. Loof, good morning. David Ray Byrne, good morning. Beedrex, good morning. Spencer, good morning. GTO Johnny, good morning. Steve, good morning. Joe, good morning. Let's see if we can take some nice trades here this morning. So the P&L that you're looking at right now on the screen is it was a signal that we took last night. It was around five something. I want to just concentrate here really quick on this ES before I take a look at that screenshot of the trade yesterday. I've got an unbalanced zone right there. Let's see if anything came out of that. Nothing super clean. This would be the area that I see. Just don't like the wick. They balanced out that wick right there. Does fit nicely on the profile though. It's kind of a bummer. Probably see a nice little reaction right here. All right, first off, this was the screenshot of the winner that we took. Let's see if I can gave a signal out to my signal members at the 25-7-7-16. That got TP1, TP2. Very little drawdown. I would say less than a point. So that's what got me into the green last night. And then this setup was the one where we had marked off at the 25-5-14. Let's see what's going on here. 25-5-14. As you could see, price action came down. It was a pretty big falling knife. This is on the 1 minute. But you can see here how we swept right in between TP1, TP2, right on this candle at a nice reaction point. And then if you go down to the lower time frame, you'll see that once we got into the entry, we tried to come right up to TP1 and then just got slammed absolutely down. So this sweep here was a little unfortunate on that signal, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's see if I made a mistake here. 784. Yeah, you're right. Fast fingers. 784.25. All right, it's been updated. Good catch, bud. Good catch. We did have some news this morning. We had U.S. trade balance, which came in lower than expected, which was positive sign. U.S. initial jobless claims came in higher than expected, which kind of helps with the inflationary and rates. And then the U.S. continued jobless claims came in better than expected. So kind of a mixed report all the way around. Kind of a mixed bag here. Sure, my ATM is set. Yep. But I do appreciate the movement, at least. It's been corrected in the signal service. It's the this is the correct number. For the stop loss, it's 25,484.25. Morning, Coach Kalitz. Morning, Michael. GTO Johnny, did you send that out in an email? No, that goes in my right now. The only postings for all of my signals is in Discord in my signal service. My email and text functionality will be on the new platform starting in the new year. Well, I'm assuming a lot of people enjoyed the 90% off sale that Apex launched yesterday. I think that was the most time that my code's ever been used on Code Trader Rob for the discount, which I really appreciate, guys. Let's see. How many times was it used yesterday? 5, 10, 15. About 24. So we ended up getting a quarter point. So poly markets, everybody was correct. Let's see if the mortgage rates are sitting at now. So we probably should see rates right at like the high fives, probably within the week. Maybe 575, I would say. Be nice if we can get into like the mid fives to low fives. I think that would be a very healthy number for the market, for the real estate market in general. All right, see how it reacts right here. As a tap. Let's see a quick reaction here. That was a tick from stop. There was a reaction. Son of a bitch. Son of a gunsy. Well, the falling knife continues here. That was ugly. Not sure if we got anything on a confirmation here or not. Let's take a look. Nope. Yeah, no, there was a confirmation there. There's your confirmation candle. Green, negative delta. Well, the fall continues. That's a tough one. All right, on to the next one. Let's see what else we can find here now. This was left unbalanced here. Don't really like TP1. I don't know, this trade already looks kind of small to me, just from the eyes, but we'll see. Let's see what this looks like. It's not too bad. 7 and 13. Stops a little dicey. Maybe we tighten up this entry just a little bit. All right, short at the 25,556, targeting the 25,548 and the 25,543 with a stop at the 25,565. And nothing so far with the ES. The ES is going into a pocket here of some unbalanced volume. Sitting right there. But it's been let's take a look at. So there's a tap. Another tap. Dang it. Dang it. Wow, that one came quick. Son of a bitch. Son of a gun. Right on the entry, too. Dang it. Looks like it's going to be one of those kind of days. That was perfect. No zero drawdown, too. Morning, Nate. Man, I wish I was a little quicker on that one. All right, I need a break. All right, took a little stroll. Yeah, it looks like this almost gave you a second chance there. Almost. NQ, the only thing we got on the NQ coming up is the 25-257. So 25-257, targeting the 25-265, 271, and then stop loss at the 25-248. And then I gotta put this guy in as well. Then, yes, I can get rid of. Would have been a beauty. About 30 seconds late on that trade. All right, so early loser on the first NQ setup. Mapped out a nice one on the ES, was just too late on that. Couldn't get an entry in. You know, you keep asking me that on every setup, man. If it's on the screen, if it's posted, it's a setup that I'm willing to take, unless I see something otherwise. Want it dancing around the TP1 that very much. I'd like to see that 548 not have too much resistance. 556. I'm watching the footprint chart here, right at the 550s. Okay, I like to see that. Do like that. Let's take a look at this 550 really quick. Don't dance around there too much. Okay, they left the 35s unbalanced, which I like. Just don't tap into the 35s. Stay out of this region right here. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh, this one's brutal. Oh, that's two nasty ones in a row. It just seems like it's going to be that kind of a day. Taking my back testing, Michael. I think 3 was the max in a row. Yeah, I guess if you count the one from last night, that makes 3 in a row. Oh, it's tough. That was tough to look at. Well, balance that out. Well, that hurt the pocketbook. I went from up $475 in cash to down a little under $300. That's tough. It's a tough one. Tough day. Let's see what happens here around the ES. If not, I might call it a day. I know when not to push it. So typically on the NQ, I've got a entry model that is looking for a footprint confirmation, which I think actually probably would have saved me on both of those trades, but I'm trying to get a little bit more aggressive on the NQ, and I was basing that off of November and October's results, and I think I had to get back to what I know works for me. So what I'm looking for is a red footprint candle in that instance of a short with positive delta. That's my confirmation candle. Even though I think on the first, if I'm not mistaken, I think on the first trade we did get a footprint confirmation, but it just doesn't seem like any of my areas of unbalanced volume is getting respected here today. I want to see what happens here now. I've got here and then I've got right here that both are looking. I want to see if there's any respection there. If not, the market's got its own ideas what it wants to do. There's the tap. So right now I would on my theory, you know, this would come right back down to at least right there off of this box. You could even target like right here as well. It just doesn't seem like we're getting the impulse. Well, there. Say something and then... All right, I guess it's getting close. This blows through here. Yeah, see, they're just not respecting any of the unbalanced volume. Talk about a V-shape right there move. Holy moly. It's going through a lot of contracts here. A lot of absorption here. See if I can get rid of this. Come on, a little more push, a little more push. Okay, we'll probably see a little resistance here. Two minutes to IB. I'd like to see where we at. We're pretty damn close to the IB now too. Don't like that they just balanced out TP2. I'm waiting on a footprint confirmation here on my ES trade. So they left the 68s unbalanced, which I was hoping for would be a very nice target. I was kind of hoping that they left this unbalanced before tapping into over here. Kind of already tapped into TP1 and 2. Just an incredible amount of contracts sitting right here. My only issue now is that we're kind of going into a flat zone right here until the 90s, which is close to 2 points, a little less than 2 points away from as a buffer. But a lot going on right here. This is their area of interest. Let's get rid of this just to clean that up. if we get past this, I think there's going to be a big dump. I think we go to the IB low. We got to get past this right here. Very curious to see what it's going to do at this lower shaded box right here off this push. So the ES wants this, the 6868. So I want to see if they can get through this big block here. I mean, that would be pretty nasty. I got a wall formed right here. And on the ES, I got this exact wall right here at the 6868. I think we break through these levels on the NQ right here. And on the ES, I think we revisit the IB low. And then some. Order book is going crazy. job, Grant. Did you make that in the move to the upside or the downside? All right, this is going to be very telling here. All right, let's see what the ES here does. If it can get past this, if it breaks through here, I know it wants it. Let's see if it breaks through it or not. And Q just reacted right off of that reaction point. Let's see if that's the catalyst now. Let me answer this, guys. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I know that was just got a call from my dad. So I've been having an issue with my wife's truck. She's got the Lexus, the LX 570. And originally heard the alternator went bad. Because I remember changing the battery about a year ago at Costco. And when you turned it on, the battery would have 12 volts. And then when you would turn the car on, the voltage went down to like 10. So I knew it was the alternator. We replaced the alternator, and then like a day later, we started getting a really bad squeaking noise from like the pulleys. And I could tell it was from pretty close to where the alternator was replaced. And yeah, I think we revisit the IB low now. That's my gut. We did breakthrough on the ES. We did. Okay. Get rid of that. Let's see if there's any. Not yet on the ES. The NQ. NQ unfortunately has got to break some structure, and it can't do that until it gets to the IB low. So then we took it back to the mechanic, and he's saying that the alternator's bad, and we just put a brand new one in. So now he's taking that out. I got to go with my dad in about an hour. See if they're not going to give me an issue returning the alternator for a new one. But it was the only one alternator I could find for that car. Should have probably just bought it from Lexus. Well, if it's not one thing, it's the other. You got it, AP. Nice job. The only thing on this setup is that we really we did break structure right here, but we didn't. The major structure is obviously IB low. That's where the big structure change is going to happen. So this is kind of an intermediate one. Let me see on the 5-minute. So this is at the 25, 529, targeting the 520 and the 515 with the stop at the 536. Let's see how the footprint looks on this one here. Big wick right there. No footprint. Nope. All right, so these footprints are definitely keeping you out of some bad ones here today. Zero footprint confirmation there. It's a tough day, man. It's a really tough day. My money was on the IB low getting hit here, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen yet. Very, very tough day. Yep. Maybe they were just looking for some fuel, I don't know. Be right back. I consider no losses as a good as a win. Absolutely. Wow. Just went through a huge order block. Bunch of orders sitting here on the level 2. Let's see if that was fuel now. We'll say the level 2 has been interesting to watch today. Like a madman. Not knowing where he's going. Oh, this could be a big drop here now. Let's see, let's see. Oh, they're still fighting it. They're supporting it. All right, we might go to the top side. We might go to the top side. It's like a sea of red and green, just parted right down the middle. They both are fighting very, very strongly. I think it's going to take a big player to come in to sway this. We did have some big sellers come in, but they just got rejected. And that wall that we had on the ES, that what was it, the 68s? I mean, now they've just formed the exact same wall right here, which means that, to me, it means that they're definitely defending a big position right here. That's why I felt like if we could break through those 68s, we would see a huge drop. Either that or gets buoyed, but this is right here. I mean, whoever wins this little battle right here is going to be very interesting. There's definitely two forces at play here. I gotta show you guys this. Let's see how I can do this here. So It doesn't show it as well here, but let me see if I can... Here are the two walls that are pretty much being formed. You got 664 contracts sitting at the 78. The big number that I had seen earlier was at the 968.90. That looks irrelevant compared to the 600s. It's a big fight right here. I think if they blow through the 68s right here, the downside has got to be violent. It's got to be violent. Let's see if I can slow that down just a little bit. Oh, you guys can't see. You guys can't see the numbers here. Let's see if I can get this without Windows taking over my situation here. Right there. And the NQ is even nuttier. So let's see how that order just got pulled. Went down to 140. Now you'll see that number probably drop. People got scared. You could see it pretty evenly match up. I think if we get under this 66, 65 area, and we see some big sellers come in, and I think the market could just drop like a fucking tank. But this is the area you don't want to be scalping. If you can have a directional bias, that's great, but scalping here is murderous. Do you guys prefer looking at the book map on the charts? Would that be helpful for anybody? I keep my book map on my screen all the way on the one that's hanging from the ceiling. I got like a 50-inch TV that's got book map up there for the NQ and the ES. But if you guys like it enough, and you guys want to see what I'm seeing at different levels, I could pop it up on there. So you guys could see we finally broke through here, right? And then you can see the how big these sellers came in right here. Now it's being absorbed, it's being defended again right at the 65s where you're going to expect it. Now if you see this breakthrough with some big red bubbles, my thought is you just get a complete dump. I would target the IB low. Where did my screen go? Screen went with the ES. I mean with bookmap. Yes to bookmap. Okay. Okie dokes. Yeah, I get it. So for instance, on the setup that we had at the 86 to 68, the one right here at the 6886. If you take a look at bookmap, you can see that the 85s, you've got 214 contracts sitting right there, which is what I like to see right around my entry. And then you've got 98 at the 90s. So would like to see something step in around the 87, 88s. That's what I'd like to see when we get close up there. That's what I like to look for my level of defense. But right now it's really close to our entry. And typically on a move like that, you just get maybe typically a sweep. We go a point up, and that's our entry. And that's where we get the, hopefully, little drawdown. Oh, it keeps doing that. So AP, the issue I see with the Dom is that depending on, you know, what level you're paying for, level 1 is 10 ticks or 10 points or 10 levels. I think it's a tick. Level 2 will give you 20. But the issue I see with the Dom is that you're constantly having to scroll up to get to the levels that you're interested in, and then a lot of the DOMs have that auto centering. I just find it, I find it easier to visually see it on bookmap than I do on the DOM. But people who get used to it. So this was definitely the area of contention, as I thought. I think whoever wins this is going to see the IB to the high or to the low. I would like to see one more trade. I'm either 10 points away from breaking even or maybe making a little bit of money. So I think all my stops were at 8 points today. 4 points on the yes would be nice. But the market don't care about what you need. So on the NQ, we're going to be going into a little unbalanced pocket here. Nothing too significant. But your reactionary point's going to be right here. I would say your target would probably be right there. At least target 1. target 2. Obviously, entry would be right at the bottom of that shaded entry area there. It's not a huge, not a lot of conviction here. We didn't really get any major break of structure. It was kind of a mini one. And stop would go somewhere right around there. Here's where I have the issue with Bookmap, is that to get Bookmap on there covers my chart that I'm looking at and you're looking at. Ow. Oh, maybe we could do a little split screen here. Let's see if this works. Yeah. So the area that I was for a reaction point would be the 530s. And if you look at the 530s right now, you got nothing up here. Okay, so again, we didn't have a major break of structure. It's pretty minor. We did have an impulsive move. And then we had another impulsive move that broke, but you could see that it kind of balanced out already. This is those balancing of volume as, you know, as it needs the fuel. And then what I would like to see on a trade is the 530s to start extending out with orders. And then I'd also like to see like the 532, 33 also start to get stacked, which is what gives you your level of defense before hitting the 38s, which would be your stop loss right around here. You know, obviously on the chart shows up right there. Okay, you saw a player come in at the 540s, and he went away, which sits right above stop. So that's not something you want to see. Definitely don't want to see the 540s start getting overloaded. For the ES. The ES is 6886.50, stop at the 6891.75, TP1 at the 6884, and then TP2 at the 6881. And now we lost Bookmap. That's the issue with this one. And now I'm blind. Now I am blind. me see if I can fix this. Hold on. That was a dilemma. I'm gonna run to the washroom real quick. That was a strong push. Let's see if that's sustainable. Yeah, the NQ's kind of, well, they come right back in. If I was a gambling man, I would say the IB loads looks like the best place, but let's throw a poll up here. Who's in the red? I am currently sitting at 148 on one cash account, 148 on the other second cash account. So that is, let's just call it negative $300 on cash. On the funding ticks, I'm at exactly 314.50 on all 5 of those accounts, which started off the day at positive 400. Or maybe a little less than, no, it was right around 398 or something like that on each one of them. And on Apex, on all of my PAs, let's see if I add the PAs to here. Then that's not the best. 5 are sitting at plus 220, and then 5 are sitting at plus $23. But we'll take off Apex. And we sit there. Up 170 across 6 Apex accounts, so basically break even. Yeah. I am in a trade on my TopStepX account, which I should pay more attention to that. I really don't like the platform at all, and to scalp for me is very difficult on there, just to remember on it. But I've been short on the NQ with 3 micros pretty much from once we broke through that box that I had mentioned earlier, or I said if we break through that box, I think we revisit the initial balance to the low. I'm currently up $430 on those 3 micro positions, but that's more of a gamble, I think. It's a toss-up. And my take profit on that right now sits at $793. If we can pretty much get pretty close to the IB low. I think I have it about 4 or 5 points above the IB low. But we're just constantly getting a lot of this. It's not great. Not great for trading. Keep sipping on my coffee that doesn't have any coffee in it. But I'm at my 2 coffee limit already today, so Morgan, for my accounts. You up or down, Morgan? Let's see, what's the poll saying right now? 53% red. I'd probably skew that percentage up to about 57%. Down, okay. Well, I guess if we watch something, let me throw up this account up here, since we don't have to be not much price action happening right now. So this is on 3 micros. See if I can blow this up here a little bit. Full screen. Now you can't see the... How do I get out? Yeah, I'm on about 45 days of keto right now. And I've dropped close to 25 pounds. It's kind of funny. You got an Apex banner right above the top step. I think this is going to be I think at the max I was at about $400 in profit. We should be getting close to. Let's see what happens here now. Mm-hmm. 30s are still pretty light on volume. Break through the double top, almost triple top. Well, I left the 501s unbalanced over here. That would be a pretty big target. And again, we break through here, we might get a pretty big sweep up to like the 35s, somewhere right around here. Shouldn't see any major resistance here. Probably need to tap into the 35s. Almost about to give a really good footprint confirmation there. All right, that was a good confirmation for me. Not really liking my stop loss, but risk it for the biscuit. You could get pretty aggressive here if we get this or not. Well, I'm calling it for a day, man. That's the best that I can do for today. That was nasty. I gave it a shot. Even though I would consider that to be a B- setup, B setup. But I got a great footprint confirmation, so I can't be too pissed off with that one. All right, guys, I'm done for the day, man. This was a tough trading session for me, for sure. I'll see what I can do to possibly try to see something here, but I'm just not seeing the markets very well today at all. At all. All right, if you haven't hit the like on the stream, sorry today was a shit day, but we're going to have some of those days. Hopefully come back tomorrow strong. Hopefully you can end the week off with a banger tomorrow on Friday. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow.